So, setting expectations with buyers. Most buyers have never seen rates above, or supposed to be, below, above 5.5%, right? If you're, if you've been in the know for 7 years, then, you haven't seen anything above that, right? And so, should you buy right now? How many of you guys have got that question, right? Well, it depends on your situation, okay? If you're gonna buy and move a year later, probably not. I mean, I don't recommend anyone in any market buy a home for under 3 years, and that's at best case, right? It's 5 years, okay? Next one. So, Johnny, you put some of these questions on. You wanna take this?
So buyers are going to ask you, and sellers are going to ask you, is it a good time, right? And how are you going to approach that question? And usually the best way is with questions. So you can figure out what is it that you're going to talk about and what is it that you're going to help them plan for. So, and that's why it depends on your situation. Everybody has their own unique situation at this day and time, their own economic process, their business planning, whether they're buying a home, they have all their things going on. So, if someone's is now a good time to buy, and this was a, someone might ask you like, how's the real estate market, right? Well, it depends. Don't reply, oh, it's crazy. Everybody knows that. And changing your words to help you add a little bit more value than what everybody else is saying is going to help you. But it depends. The market depends on if you're trying to buy a home or sell a home or invest. Once I know a little bit more about what your goals are, I can tell you if now's a good time to buy a home. So if you're open-minded to meeting with me and talking about your goals and the market, I can show you exactly what's going on in the market and figure out if now's a good time to buy, right? I haven't even started asking them too many questions, but just letting them know, like, it just depends. Like, it might be a great time for you right now, maybe in 6 months, but if we get together and talk about what your goals are and why you're asking this question, I can let you know if now's a good time or not. I'll be honest with you. So some of the questions. So how long are you planning on living in the home? Like Ryan said, look, if you're planning on living in this home and for 1 or 2 or 3 years, and you're trying to figure this out, like you're not gonna be making any money. This is what the people are fearful of. Do I buy a home now? Is the market gonna crash right after I buy a home? And then 5 years I'm sitting in a house that I've got no money. That's never going to happen, right? And you can tell people that in the past 5 years, has real estate gotten cheaper or more expensive? In the past 10 years, in the past 20 years, in the past 100 years, has real estate gotten cheaper or more expensive? In 5 years, do you think it's going to be cheaper or more expensive? Just ask them that. If they think it's going to be more expensive, talk about that. We've done some trainings about this. Some of this stuff you guys have heard even with Anthony Lamacchia coming into town and talking to us. But talk about what their fears are. I think the market's going to crash. Great. Okay. Where do you think prices are going to go? This $600,000 house, you think you're in the $600,000 price range? What do you think it's going to be worth in a year? Have them answer that question. It's really uncomfortable when you have to sit there quietly when you ask a question, but you need that answer. And in sales, he who speaks first loses, or she who speaks first loses, right? You ask a question, you got to let them answer. So understanding that real estate's a long-term investment, there's no downside historically, like I said, in a 5-year period, but really, like, you can say, like, there's been no time in real estate that someone has said, oh, just wait and you're going to end up saving money. Or if they did, look back and did you end up saving money? Now, this goes to timing. Oh, I'm waiting for a better, here is it, things are already slowing down. I'm trying to time it out a little bit better. Well, what's happened really interesting in our market here this year is, well, some of you have heard of seasonality of the market, and seasonality of the market's a very real thing because there are different people in the market buying and selling homes, and we usually see a shift in, August, September, October. And what happened in our market this year, in April, everything started to shift with interest rates, inventory starts to spike, and now we're getting this prolonged depression, and now we hit our normal seasonality of the market. What do you think is going to happen in the spring? How long do you want to wait till the spring to buy real estate in Austin? Do you know how many people still have to move here? Did you plan on competing with 10,000 other people who aren't even here yet? I know you want to wait. You know how many other people are waiting to move here still? All these buildings in town that aren't built, all the ones that are built that aren't even aren't even, there's no people in there yet. Everybody's still moving to town. So how long do you want to wait, and how competitive do you think it's going to be moving to Austin in a year or two? I haven't talked about prices yet, right? You can talk about prices, and you can have different flyers and talk about interest rates, but I haven't talked about that stuff yet. That's later. When they say interest rates, go talk about interest rates. They say prices, go talk about prices. But right now, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people moving to this area in the next few years, and you're going to be competing with every one of them. And those that try to time the market are always going to lose. And if you're prepared now, if we're having this conversation now, like whether you're an internet lead or someone that you've met at open house, if we're having this conversation now, there's something about the market that you're interested in. What is it about the market that you're most interested in right now? Why are you asking me this question? Oh, because I think it's going to crash. So it gives you these conversation points. I'll let you take it over from here.
So just a quick note is Johnny took a call last week from a guy that wanted to get off the phone with him in the first minute, and it's on Workplace, and it's fucking amazing because he handled just about every single objection you could possibly have. And it lasted 20 minutes, and it ended with an appointment with one of our agents, and they're showing property now. The guy was like, I'm not ready to buy now, and he went through, you just saw like just a small snippet of some of the objections that he had. So if you haven't watched that, let me know, and we can tag you in it, and I'm going to be putting that on YouTube as a lesson next week. So this is kind of the data. We used a neighborhood, I think it was Blackhawk, just because we wanted something that had very similar homes, not something like in Zilker with 50 different types of builds. And this is 2020, where the market was, if you look at these houses that were, square footage, 2,900 to 3,100 square feet, 434 and 547 versus, now these is just, we just did this 2 days ago, and these are the prices of the homes in the last 30 days, 698 and 702. Now, presumably, those homes have gone down in the last 3 months, and presumably they may go down again in the next 3 months, but they're not going to go down to where they were, right? So, having this data and being able to talk to buyers and talk them off the fence is basically what it's all about. I mean, you got to educate, consult your people, and, get them to do what needs to be done, because, I believe that this is going to be very short-lived. Next one. So, I don't know anyone that has ever won by trying to time the Austin market, right? And if you're trying to time the market, guess what? It's time. And we're going to have Chris Jacob up here in a few minutes. But, and he may disagree with me. He may agree with me. We'll see. Is the market going to go lower? I don't fucking know. Okay? But I know it's going to go higher, right? Does anyone disagree that the market's going to go higher in the next 5 years? Raise your hand. Yes, it's going to go higher. Okay? So you need to be able to have these conversations because people are scared right now. And I think that's, you got everything going on with the news, the economy. But the facts is that this has historically been an amazing market. We have the best job market in the world. And it's going to be okay, guys, right? So, do they need a fucking place to live? Yeah. Buy the home. Let me help you. We can still make a deal. Annual interest rates. So from 2013 to 2017, I think I have 3 slides on here, but wait, there's only 2 that work, right? Go back to the other one. The first one. Okay, yeah. So these are the only time in the last, I think, 3 decades that the interest rates have been below 5%, okay? Go back to the next one. And then you look here, it's 5.9 to 6.2. I meant to put another slide on here that showed 5 years before, but they're around the same. So, if people are worried about interest rates, show them what it's been. Are we going to see 3% again? Probably not. I've never seen it in my lifetime. So, educating your buyers, setting your expectation, letting them know everything you know based on history is what's going to get them off the fence. Let me see if that's it. So that pretty much sums up the bulk of the presentation, from setting expectations to sellers, marketing sellers, setting expectations to buyers. Does anyone have any questions before we have Chris on? Yes. They will be, yeah. We're gonna cut these up into probably 3 different videos, and actually we'll give you the slides, yeah.
And then I did Matterport for you to work by myself, but you said that you think Zillow's going to require professional photographers?
No, you can do it yourself, but it won't be Matterport. It's what's it?
I did turn it off a year ago, so Matterport's not around anymore?
No. They don't work on Matterport. They work on a specific type of camera, the Riche. To do the Zillow feature, yeah, and it's much cheaper. I think if you use one of their people, it may be like maybe $100 add-on. Where Matterport is like, I think $400 is what one of our photographers charges. And we have a camera, so if you have an active listing that you want to get on a tour, we have a video that shows how to do the 360 tour. You can borrow our camera, just take it and bring it back that day, and then that will boost. It will anybody that saved the listing, it will send the notification that 3D tour is available, and it will boost an existing listing for 7 days. Anybody else? That's for any listing. Yeah, it doesn't have. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Scott, about the 5 years, I'm an old fart, so I remember the late 80s.
Yeah.
How does that factor? I mean, people applying to your age, and they're like, oh, gee, I remember the bust in the 80s.
Well, first of all, what you need to understand is that 70% of all stats are completely made up. So, any other questions? I'm talking about in digitally recorded history, okay? So, and what I mean by that is the MLS goes back to 1998. Anybody else? All right, Chris, Jacob, come up here. I'm gonna give just a minute to get your slides on, and then we can talk about what's happening in the market right now.